Hello, and welcome. My name is Nikesh, and I am with Samadhan. In this walkthrough, I will show you how electronic signatures work inside Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Samadhan builds industry-specific solutions on the Microsoft Dynamics platform, and what you are about to see is a DocuSign integration we have built directly into the ERP, so that approvals never have to leave the system your team already works in every day. Let us start with the basics. An electronic signature is a digital representation of a person's signature, used to sign a document or authorize a transaction without printing anything. It can take several forms. You can type your name, draw your signature with a mouse, sign with a stylus or a fingertip on a touchscreen, or let the software generate a signature for you. Electronic signatures are legally recognized in a great many countries today, and they have become the normal way to close business quickly. So what does an electronic signature actually involve? 3 things. First, authentication. The system has to verify who the signer really is, so that a signature cannot be forged or used by the wrong person. Second, integration. The signing capability has to live inside the software your business already runs, rather than sitting in a separate tool. And third, security, which means protecting the integrity and the confidentiality of every signature from the moment it is applied. Here is what we offer. We begin with API integration, which gives your people a seamless signing experience inside the ERP they already use, with no separate portal to learn. Next comes cost saving. When you remove the printing, the courier charges, the postage, and the physical storage of paper files, the paper-related cost of every approval effectively disappears from your books. Then there is convenience, and this is the one your users will notice first. An electronic signature lets a person sign a document from anywhere, at any hour, on whatever device happens to be in front of them, whether that is a desktop computer, a smartphone, or a tablet. A director traveling overseas can approve a purchase order from an airport lounge, and your process simply keeps moving. Security is built into the foundation. Electronic signatures carry advanced protections such as encryption, signer authentication, and a complete audit trail, all of which work together to guarantee the integrity and the authenticity of the signed document. That audit trail matters enormously in practice because it records who signed, exactly when they signed, and from where. When an auditor asks you to prove an approval, the evidence is already there, waiting. There is also a real-time saving. With a single click, you can check the current status of any signature and download the completed document straight from the ERP, without chasing anybody by phone or email. And we support 2 different ways of signing. You can upload any document and route it for authorized signature, or you can trigger signing directly from a standard business document, such as a purchase order confirmation or a sales invoice report. This is our electronic signature menu. Everything lives here: the setup you configure once, and the screen where you upload a document for signing. So what setup does this require? There are 2 pieces: the electronic signature parameters and the e-sign status. These are the API parameters that authenticate your environment against the DocuSign service. You configure them one time, during implementation, and from that point onward your users never see them again. Let me now move into the live solution and show you how signing actually works in practice on a real document. To reach the electronic signature area, you go to the module bar, then to Common, then to Electronic Signature. This is where you will find the parameters that need to be set up in the system. I am going to demonstrate 2 separate scenarios for you, one after the other, so you can see both ways of working. First, I will upload a document into the ERP and send it out for signature. After that, I will show you the purchase order confirmation report, which needs review and sign-off by an authorized signatory. Let us begin with the upload. I select the file from my machine, and then I enter the supporting details the system needs: a file name, a document number, and the subject line that the signer will see in their email inbox. These small details are what make the request instantly recognizable to the person receiving it. Notice that we have implemented this for 4 stages of signing. You can enter the email details of up to 4 different signers, and the document will travel to each of them in turn, in the order you define. That gives you a proper approval hierarchy. For this demonstration, I am keeping it simple and using a single signer. Here I enter the email address of the signer, and then I click OK. The moment that OK button is clicked, the person at that email address receives the file for review and signature. Nothing is printed, nothing is couriered, and no one has to be in the office for this to happen. And here you can see the email has arrived with me as the signer. From the signer's point of view, the experience is deliberately simple because this is often a senior person with very little time. I click the Review Document button, and the document opens in the browser. Then I click the Signature button on the left-hand side, and I place the signature exactly where it belongs on the page. At this point, the signer is offered 3 ways to provide a signature. You can accept the signature that the system has generated automatically from your name. You can draw your own signature freehand, or you can upload an image of your real handwritten signature. All 3 are equally valid, so each person can choose whichever they are most comfortable with. For this demonstration, I will use the signature that DocuSign has created. Now I click Adopt and Sign. As you can see, the signature has been applied to the document, together with its serial number, which is what makes each signature uniquely traceable back to this transaction. Now I click the Finish button to complete the signing. And as soon as the recipient clicks Finish, the final signed document flows straight back into the ERP system. There is no manual step in between. Nobody has to save a file, rename it, and upload it again. The system collects it automatically. You can verify this in 2 places. There is the Invoice Status page, and there is the e-signature envelope status page, which is the one I am opening now. Think of an envelope as the complete signing transaction, the document itself, every signer attached to it, and the full history of what happened and when. This page is your single point of control for every signature request running in your business at any given moment. Here we can see our document, and the status clearly shows that signing has been completed. Now, as soon as I click the Download Document button, the signed copy is downloaded into our system and stored against the record. For document number 121, you can see the signature has been completed. This is worth pausing on for a moment, because this single screen replaces what used to be a long chain of follow-up emails and phone calls. Instead of asking your team whether a document has been signed yet, you simply look here, and the answer is in front of you, accurate and current. We have provided 2 buttons on this screen. The first updates the current status, and the second downloads the document. When you click Update Current Status, the system queries the signing service and refreshes the status of that document, so you always see the true position rather than a stale one. And once the status shows as completed, the download button becomes your route to the signed file, straight from here. Now let us move to the second scenario, the purchase order confirmation report. This is where we have customized the electronic signature to sit inside a standard business process. And for most customers, this is the part that delivers the real value. As you can see, this purchase order has been confirmed and is ready for sign-off. Right here on the form, we have provided 2 dedicated buttons. The first is Request e-signature, and the second is Download signed document. So the sequence is straightforward. First, you request the signature for this purchase order confirmation report, and later you return here to collect the signed copy. This is the report we are working with. Let me click Request e-signature for this document, and as soon as I do, the parameters window opens for me to complete. The system already knows this is a purchase order confirmation report, so that context is carried across automatically. What remains is the document number and the email subject line. This is the important difference from the first scenario. Here, the user does not upload anything and does not leave the purchase order screen at all. The document is generated by the ERP, attached, and sent, without a single file ever touching somebody's desktop. Then come the signing details, which are the name and the email address of the authorized signatory. And as soon as I click this OK button, the request for electronic signature is submitted. From the user's point of view, the entire approval has been launched with 2 clicks, without ever leaving the purchase order. The recipient then receives an email asking them to review and confirm the purchase order confirmation report. And as you can see here, the document has arrived for review, exactly as it should. The signer sees the real purchase order, not a summary or a link to somewhere else. I click the review button, the document opens in front of me, and now I sign it electronically. Once again, I am using the automatically created signature, and then I click the Finish button. Notice how identical this experience is to the first scenario. That consistency is deliberate, because it means your approvers learn the process exactly once, and from then on every document they are sent behaves the same familiar way. And the moment I click Finish, the document is signed and returned to the person who submitted it. After signing is complete, we check the status under Common in the e-signature envelope status page, which is the same central screen we looked at earlier. And as you can see, the signing has been completed here as well. Both scenarios, the uploaded document and the purchase order confirmation, are tracked in exactly the same place. Now we can download the document, and once it has downloaded, we can open it and confirm that the signature has indeed been applied. There are 2 ways to obtain the signed document, and this is worth remembering. The signed copy arrives in the email, and it is also available here in the ERP. So whether your user lives in their inbox or inside the system, the finished document is always within reach. Thank you for watching. This has been the Samadhan ERP solution.